This is out my bedroom window. So all of the horses are in here, except for Montaro. He's over there by himself, but pointed towards them, separated by 3 fence lines. He's been there for a good 10 minutes, just resting. His hind leg is cocked. So Sione has joined Montaro. Where he's standing is completely open, by the way. There you go. He's not, this is not closed off. And Juno is looking with a lot of interest. Perhaps Montaro is just calling all of them to leave this red arena and go back out into the further reaches. The horses have been working a lot with the land this week, very intensely with the land. They said there's not just vortexes on this land, but there's also portal points, and they're working with them, so. Sione heading down, and Montaro was watching her go. Look how Pose is aligned with her mum. Juno still eating his minerals and salt, but very engaged. Zoe is still all the way over here. Sione is lead mare is leading off somewhere. She's looking back at them. Macaw is very focused on Sione. Juno's still chomping away on his minerals and salt. This is horse time, y'all. There's a lot going on, but none of it happens too fast. Well, Juno's made a clear decision. He's really focused on Zoe. Meanwhile, Sione is all the way down there. Horse TV, what's going to happen? Macaw still really focused on Sione. at the herd as sort of a representation of each of the parts of ourselves. So there's the, I guess, leader or wayfinder who is calling to us really patiently and saying, hey, this way, come this way. And then there's the part of ourself that's like, yeah, let's do it. We can do this. Let's go. Let's go. And then there's all these parts of ourselves that are not ready or really enjoying where we are right now. And sometimes those are very strong parts of ourselves. We've got the outlier parts of ourselves who are like, yes, but look at what's over here. This is worthwhile too. And then we've got the part of ourself that is in between, really focused on where our leader self knows we need to go. And our adventurous self is already heading. And so this is like a little herd constellation that can be applied, even to the parts of ourselves in our interior world that are always in dialogue and discussion and possibly even arguing with each other. And who do we come together and get behind? Which part of ourself do we choose to trust and follow? And there's the choice. There's the choice at the open gate of our lives. Even when we've had an event that's pushing us to go out through that gate, will we go or will we not? Which part of ourself do we want to align with? Lots of thinking, lots of processing, yawning, releasing. So this is an interesting formation. 3 pointed one way, 2 pointed the other. And every now and again, everyone stops and looks at the outlier. What is the role of our outlier? Who comes over here, far away, maybe in a corner, and says, I'm fine over here. Does the outlier know something the rest of us don't? Is the outlier as much of a lead mare as the quester, the adventurer? As above, so below. And there's our center. Never wavering, holding strong. This is the part of us that knows the plan. And see how patient this part of us is, letting everyone do what they need to do and go through what they need to go through. So inviting you into consciousness of all these different parts of yourself, these different voices and parts with different comfort levels, different, almost not really different personalities, but different orientations and different purposes within us. Ooh, and here's another analogy. So in the multidimensional universe, we are the herd, but each member, each part of our herd is incarnated in a different dimension. Oh yeah. And so each horse represents one of our incarnations in one of the dimensions. And so even though it looks like we are far flung to different galaxies and dimensions, that higher parent whole self of ours is still functioning as a unified whole, as a herd with different members. So we have an oversoul with different aspects of us that incarnate different lifetimes, different dimensions, but we are all tied together. So the part of you that has consciousness right now in this dimension, where are you oriented towards? What's your role in this larger matrix of you? And how can we get in touch with these other aspects, these other incarnations of ourself, and begin to work more as a team so that we have less frustration, less flailing around looking for the direction and looking for, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to be doing? If we could get in touch with our bigger herd self, we could have more clarity. And perhaps we could even increase the efficiency of the way we're working, or perhaps not, because perhaps the reason we split off into different incarnations, different galaxies, different dimensions is to each of us have a different experience. Each of us play a different role. And then when we come back together as a herd to bring that knowledge and experience, that co-creation, that creative expression and endeavors, bring that all back to the whole. And it takes as long as it takes. And who is that part of us that is strong enough to stand apart, oriented in the direction we need to go, no matter how long it takes, and to hold that position alone? Alone, yet energetically very tightly bonded and linked to either the rest of ourself or the rest of our soul family, the rest of all the components of our higher soul that are linked across dimensions. Who's that part of ourself? How do we honor her? How do we support her? have some visitors. Different herd, different soul family, separated, but impacting nonetheless. How do other energies impact our desires, our goals, our purpose? What role do we allow those other energies to play? How much attention do we give them? Do we link up with them? Do we follow them? Do we join with them? And is that for our highest good or not? Look how much impact others can have upon us just by showing up with their intention and their energies and their desires. Don't ever discount or minimize the influence of other souls upon your journey. How other relationships that we choose to give our attention and time can completely change our orientation, our course of direction. And is this a good thing? Or is this a not so good thing? And does it matter? Because at the end of the day, it's all part of the whole. It's all part of the co-creation. It's all part of the learning. And just like that, we've all come together, all the parts of ourselves, all our different incarnations, to investigate this new energy, this new link, these new souls. Some of us with more caution than the others.